Well, hello there, everybody. This is your friendly Professor Peter Shickley with yet another report from Hoople.
Okay, we're going to get rid of this pine tree here, partly for fire danger, partly it's just a big nothing thing. It's shading out these other nicer trees, and the guy he's up there somewhere. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, they don't speak it to English. Okay, now he's just going to start taking it down in pieces, I think. I'd ask him, but they no comprendo. So you can see there's a pretty big bird nest up there. I guess that's not going to stay there. But the birds aren't there now. I think it's a hawk nest. Yeah, this is a difficult job. They're doing that all by rigging to keep it from getting on the roof, and then they lower it down by rope in little pieces. It's pretty crazy. Okay, the trimming's done. They really cleaned stuff up. This had limbs going through that redwood tree, and it was leaning over the fence. This one here had a big branch that was going over towards the house. And this one here, you know, the big one in the corner, it's had this giant branch for years and years and years I've been nervous about. And these guys, with no crane or anything, cut it and didn't drop anything on the roof. They just rigged it up and lowered it down. Then over here, they cut some down that was hanging over the neighbor's back. And then they weren't super detailed. There's a little bit of cleanup, so we got Grandma doing that. And then they raised up the how high the lower branches are on this cedar tree to keep them away from the house. It's hard to get a real good feeling, but they were getting pretty close. I've been trimming on it, but they did it serious. And then here, the main thing they did was cut down this cedar tree here that I took a picture of before, that was going to be right on the fence line. And then they cut down this pine tree. It was really tall. It doesn't look like that big with the stump, but that's about a 2-foot stump of diameter. But it was up higher than all these trees here. So now these trees are really gonna, be able to get good light. And then let's see. And then over here, there was a branch that was sticking out sideways on this cedar tree out over the street. You can see it right there in the middle. That's where the branch went out. So they cut that. These are a lot of the stuff was stuff I was going to do, but nice to have someone else do it. And then for some reason, they left some of this cedar in the lawn, but they moved so much of the big stuff. I said, you know what, don't worry about it. I'll just move it. So I'm going to move the rest of that cedar over here. Maple that I'll have to split sometime. But it's supposed to, it's pretty easy. And I've used that before in some of these other trees, but so there's quite a bit of that there. Anyway, that's all the news from Hoople.